Blandin is working at the community level really in 3 different areas. One is we call community broadband resources, where we provide assistance to communities kind of on a wide variety of activities, technical assistance to help them get organized, to assess kind of what kind of services do they have, what do they need, what are the next steps. And that's kind of an ad hoc assistance program. The Lightspeed program, as Bernadine said, is one that we provide some matching funds. So far it's been primarily to healthcare and educational institutions to implement new technologies. For example, telepharmacy in Adrian, some digital recording equipment for the Little Crow school network out in Hutchinson and west of there. We've done some in Winona, nonprofit operator of group homes and services to connect them by fiber and be able to do remote patient monitoring, or I suppose client monitoring is what they call that. And then some telehome health care up at the Staples Hospital, so that they can, instead of sending their nurses out to see Hilda every day or or once a week, they can check in, get vital signs, get that information on a daily basis, and do video calling to talk back and forth between those clients and healthcare providers. They're finding out that keeps people out of the hospital, which is if you don't have to roll that ambulance out there, that's a big cost savings to a small rural hospital. And so we're going to build those applications or those programs that we have to be have more resources, be able to help more communities, and move forward on those. The third one is the Robust Networks Feasibility Fund, which we used to call our Open Access Network Fund. But this is to help communities launch feasibility studies to determine if what their needs are for high-speed broadband in their community, and whether that's independently or in partnership with a telecommunications provider, provide funds to fund that first look. That is this really a realistic project to do primarily fiber to the home networks in the community. We funded now about a half a dozen of those around the state. We have a big emphasis on e-commerce training for business. These stimulus dollars are for business development, get the economy going. And so we're working with the Extension Service on with a real focus on Main Street and renewable energy companies. One of the things that we're trying to honor is that a lot of our match dollars come from this Altel settlement through the Attorney General's office, which was targeted to 27 counties in south and southwestern Minnesota, kind of from I-35 to the west and up to Highway 12 was kind of our focus area there. And so this renewable energy focus is one that there's an existing industry cluster there in renewable energy. They have a group called the Renewable Energy Marketplace. And they know things about ethanol and wind and so on, but how do we help them really step up their use of technology to market themselves both within the region and into a broader market area. So they're kind of an interesting partner, because we kind of targeted them, and they said, sure, well, we're interested, and so other partners said, hey, here's what we want to do, and here's our skills. So this is a group of businesses that is already organized that we think we can have a big impact on. In community development, working with the business community is sometimes a challenge to get them organized, to bring them to the table, but working with this existing structure, we think we have a great advantage there that they're already in place. We're going to be working with the workforce centers and workforce customers. We've got almost 10% unemployment. Workforce centers are packed to the gills. I do a lot of work in Dakota County, and it's 7:30, I'm there for some meetings. People are waiting at the door to get in that workforce center at 8 o'clock. Our funds, if we get those, will be used to extend the hours of the workforce center, to get more computer capacity in there, and then to provide skill training to those prospective workers to try and bring them up to speed. If we tie this back to the intelligent community approach, this is all about creating some knowledge workers that have the computer skills necessary to start doing different types of work than they've done in the past. We partnered with MnSCU, actually the Minnesota Learning Commons, which is centered in MnSCU, but is a partnership of MNSCU and the U of M and the K-12 community to centralize, provide a repository for online learning elements. So if somebody, someplace does an intro to welding class online or an intro to algebra class online, instead of being on that one instructor's computer, where they, trapped in their own little place, this will now be kind of essentially state open access property that other instructors can go in, search, find these course elements, and say, oh, that's really well done, I'm just going to use that and get a lot more bang for our buck. And so it's I think that's an exciting piece. The Learning Commons is going to develop some curriculum, kind of an introduction to knowledge work, and show some of the career paths that are available to launch people into these new career areas that rely on knowledge work. So we're both building the skills of the workers, providing some kind of curriculum and pathways for them to explore new careers. So we're very excited about that. And then our demonstration communities that Bernadine talked about, and I'll talk more about what we're doing with that in a moment. We also have on here, we have PCs for People is the name of the group, and their services, they rehab computers and redistribute those, and we're gonna really work with them to get computers to people who really need them. We know through the Jack Geller research that a lot of people, if you have a computer, chances are you have internet. But if you don't have a computer, we know for sure you don't have internet. And so getting these computers to people that work, a lot of times by the time, oh, I got this old computer in my office, you don't want to take it, and those are worth almost nothing to people. But if they're rehabbed and up to date, then people can make use of those. And so we think we're going to target those PCs into these places where small business, for the workforce people, and other people in one of our clients as well, or partners, is Association of Minnesota Counties. And we're going to help them implement regional mental health care, and I won't say networks, but portals of information, allowing people to get in there and find out where the services are that they need, whether those are veterans returning from war, people who have lost their jobs and are under a lot of stress. Poverty goes up, unemployment rate goes up, mental health issues follow with that. And so that's another target base that we're looking at.